Hi everybody, I'm Trini Lopez, and you're watching Coachella Valley Music Show.
Everybody, come on! Make some noise! This goes out to all you brown-eyed girls! Hey, pretty people! Days when the rain's coming down in the hollow, playing the blues game, laughing and running, jumping in the misty morning fog, with all our hearts so thumping at you, brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl.
Music Show. This episode's guests are El Chicano, the legendary musical group, and today we have Mickey Lespron and Gerry Galagher, and what a pleasure it is to meet both of you today.
Pleasure's mine.
Pleasure, Alex.
Pleasure
indeed.
You know, as I was looking through your press kit, it's amazing all the music that you guys have contributed to us, and I was really impressed. I didn't know, and you hear the name El Chicano and you think, are they only Hispanic? Do they only sing in Spanish? And that might be, a little bit of what we want to touch on today, because I want the people out there to know that, El Chicano is not just a Latino, Hispanic, singing group. How have you bridged the barriers through the years?
We don't play cumbias or rancheras, but we can, because that's what we grew up on it.
Right.
When I first started learning guitar, I was play a corrido and all that. We used to play backyard parties, But as we progressed, like in high school and everybody was listening to the Beatles and the Beach Boys, I was already listening to jazz, you know, which I was influenced by, as you know, Wes Montgomery a lot, you know, but also Kenny Burrell, Joe Pass,
Wow.
and then the newer generation of guitarists. You know, I love Lee Ritenour and Earl Klugh, and you know, great guitarists. You know. And our music evolved through the years. Originally, we were the VIPs before El Chicano, and we had horns. You know, and Viva Tirado came about as a horn song. You know, we had Tony and Bobby were our horn players. Introduced the song Viva Tirado, written by Gerald Wilson, as a first brass song we ever did. You know, and it was. But later on, as we had to downsize, and you know, we the horn players went on, you know, doing other things, so we just transposed the horn lines to you know, the melody line. I did it on Wes Montgomery, and then Bobby Espinosa on Hammond B3 did the other parts, and then Viva Tirado was born, and boom, you know, we had a record. We had a hit record. You know?
Probably one of the big fallacies is that El Chicano is a Latin rock band.
Right.
Or it's not. It's a rock band with some Latin influence.
Right.
Yeah,
Through the
jazz
years,
roots, blues roots.
It's
you
got
know.
this soul, funk, jazz. It's a fusion that comes together and is uniquely El Chicano. And we even came up with the brown sound, which is trademark to El Chicano, but it's that specific, unique sound that makes El Chicano different from the rest of the world.
And you know, Latin music has so many. I mean, like you said,
Oh, now,
bongos,
yeah,
and
yeah.
you know, and years ago there wasn't anyone. California is inundated with Latin heritage, and you know, LA especially.
Yeah.
You know, you go to other states throughout the United States, they don't even know what Hispanics are.
No.
So we here in California are really fortunate to have that influence, and for you to bring it to the Latin people, especially because you know, of course, they see the name El Chicano, they're going to listen right away.
Right, yeah.
You know, and then you bring other people in.
Exactly.
through your
Unlike New
influences.
York, where you had mostly Puerto Ricans and
Spaniels.
Cubans.
Tito Puente and Mongo Santa Maria, and then we were, you know, our percussionists were influenced by, you know, Mongo Santa Maria, you know, especially those, Cal Jader, and then we just kind of mixed the whole thing together, and El Chicano sound, the brown sound was born, I guess.
It's so unique.
Yeah.
In the East Coast, you got a Cuban
Yeah,
beat to it.
it's real hot
Around
out
here,
there.
it's more of
It's real hot.
a South American, Latin, Mexican beat, which ended up becoming the brown sound of El Chicano.
Yeah, and that's
Totally
just,
unique.
that is really
Viva Tirado!
Ready? End it.
So, you started in the 70s, the band started in the 70s.
Yeah, El Viva Tirado would hit on 69. So then, but I don't know, I started playing guitar when I was like 13, 14.
Right.
Picked it up in the neighborhood. So.
Right. Wow, that's a good thing to pick up from the neighborhood.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
guitar, you know, you could have picked up anything else.
Yeah, a good friend of mine named Paul Palacio introduced me to the guitar. And
Wow.
I haven't.
The rest
took
is
off from
history.
there. Rest is history.
What's a funny thing about
San Gabriel.
San Gabriel, there you go. Funny thing about how El Chicano got their name is that when Viva Tirado came out, they were not El Chicano.
The VIPs.
They
They were the
VIPs.
VIPs. Yeah.
And they had done a session, a recording session, and
After the gig.
after the gig at
After hours.
Kabuki's down in Los Angeles, and they did a recording. First time they ever recorded, and they went in and they wanted a sound check, so they said, do a sound check. So they played their break song, which was
Viva Tirado. That was our break song.
That was their break song. So it was only to get
Freddie
a-
Sanchez on bass.
Wow.
Andre Baez on congas. Yeah.
Bobby on keys.
Bobby
and it was
Snow,
just
the
to get
keyboards.
a
John
sound check.
DeLuna on drums.
Yep, and in the end, they got it down. The machines would go right there. So everybody said, "Oh, we're going to leave." Go. So we left and went on our way. And what happened was that a few months later, this song comes out on the air as El Chicano, and a new song, Viva Tirado from
Wow.
El Chicano, which was the VIP song. Somebody had taken that track and ran it to Universal through Cap Records.
Isn't that great?
And it became a song. But we were the VIPs,
No,
and
actually, it was being pirated.
Yeah, they were.
That's what I'm
there was
saying.
somebody
It
else
isn't good. I mean, that's just the story
pretending
of
to
those
be El
days.
Chicano, which
yeah.
was
So what happened was it became a
Relatives
legal
at first.
dispute, and then they came down and checked it out, and it was the VIPs that did the song. And they had the option was let it was like number 11 on the chart, so let it rise on the chart, so we got to pull it, right? Or you take over the name El Chicano, and that's how El Chicano became.
Yeah.
So the VIPs up until at 69, 70, when El Chicano hit the number 1 in the charts, the VIPs became El Chicano. So there you go.
Wow, that's amazing.
Oh, just look, is it Musicians Outlet, picking up all those special things for those special people. Is it Musicians Outlet, getting drums, guitars, keyboards, sheet music, and all those great stocking stuffers and gift cards. Musicians Outlet for all your music needs. Hey, Santa couldn't be here. He's still at the North Pole, but he sent me to pick up a few things from Musicians Outlet. Happy holidays, everybody.
Happy holidays.
goes out to all you beautiful brown-eyed girls out there. Brown-eyed girls. Brown-eyed girls. All right, here we go. Remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, I give it back.
While we're touching on how you guys got started, who were the original members of El Chicano?
Original members was Freddie Sanchez on bass and John DeLuna on drums, Andre Baezo on congas, and we had the big bad B3 Hammond player Bobby Espinoza, which I collaborate a lot with him. We would just buy a bottle of wine and sit in there and just go back
How
and
awesome
forth,
is that?
write songs, and John DeLuna drums.
And then after that, we brought in
Rudy Regalado on timbales later, and then around third album, fourth album, we brought in Gerry Salas. That would be gave us "Tell Her She's Lovely." So
Big hit.
yes, and then we had "So Me." That was Ursi Arvizu singing "So Me" for a little while.
And while I'm mentioning those original members, two of them are no longer with us, is what I
Yes.
understand. And who are they?
Unfortunately, we lost Bobby Espinoza, and shortly after we lost Rudy Regalado.
Within a year.
And it was up and down, and I'd left the group for a while, but Freddie left the group first, and but then he came back, and then he brought me back after Bobby passed away, and I said, hey, let's get it together again. So it's been going pretty good, and then we met with Gerry, and he kind of reignited us. So
And while we're on that subject, Gerry, what do you do for El Chicano? And
Well, I'm the producer for El Chicano, and I love them. They're all my brothers, and I've known them for all my life. My music was El Chicano from day one, so it's a delight to, after 40 years in this business, to reunite with these guys and put something together. So for the last 4 years, we've been putting together what we call a signature project. And what signature is the El Chicano sound, the signature sound of El Chicano, which actually stems from the first 3 albums, which was the Brown sound, the fusion of the music together with vocals and instrumentals. And over the last 4 years, we've had a lot of fun, a lot of work, but we've actually put together what we think is a very, very proud situation for us with El Chicano. Mickey was on lead guitar in all of our songs, and really, it's a pleasure putting them all together. The good part of what we did is we went out, and after being in the industry for 40 years, you get to know people, right? So I pulled in some favors, and we got a lot of collaborations. So we got David Page from Toto doing Africa with us.
Wow.
We got Vicky Carr, who's a legend in this industry. She's doing Sabor a Mi with us. We got the Escobedo family. We got Spencer Davis.
Right.
We got one of your favorites, Brian Auger. Brian says hi to you,
keyboard
by the way.
man.
Brian,
Brian.
he's killer, man. He is still. I love Brian. and Alex Ligertwood on vocals. And I mean, it's just the great thing was
the Escovedos, too.
Escovedos, yeah.
Pete
yeah.
and his two sons.
His two sons, yeah. And the great thing about it was what I found when I talked to all these guys and said, come on down and do this thing with me. You're doing a favor. After a while, it was no longer a favor. It was like, yeah, we
They
love
wanted
it.
to.
Yeah. I mean, Ray Parker Jr., remember that?
Ray Parker Jr.,
Ray came up to him and shook his
Yeah.
hand and said, you know,
Yeah.
you made my career now. I've
Really
played
nice
with,
guy, man.
you know, El Chicano. So, I mean, you know, Ray Parker Jr., Ghostbusters.
Right.
Great songs.
I mean, that's
Oh,
important.
Yeah.
You know, you find that after
Yeah.
you've been around
And he
a
gave
while.
you a ride in his Tesla. So,
Yeah.
man,
That
that's
thing
So
is
now
cool.
you're like, wow.
And it's a cool car, man.
Yeah.
But you know, the great thing about like what we were doing here is it was like harmony. It was a real harmony. It was, you know, it wasn't work. It was we were having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then the interesting part about it was
That's what music's about. You gotta have fun,
gotta
have fun.
or else give it up.
yeah. Well, we have a philosophy. If we don't feel it, we're not going to do it, right? We have to feel it. We're not,
You know, I've heard that from musicians. Like, they're like, I don't care if there's one person in the room
Yeah,
Yeah.
or a packed house. I have to do it for me and my
At the
soul.
back of the room,
Right.
yeah. And you know, and again, we've been in this business for so long. It's no longer about the music anymore. It's about the feeling. It's about doing the right thing.
Fulfilling your soul.
Fulfilling your soul.
Yeah.
And when we put this together, Bobby had passed. Well, Bobby was in the process of passing, and then
Yeah.
Rudy was passing. And it was a really dark time for El Chicano. And we sat down and we said, look, we're not here to make any music. We're not here to do what we did in the past. We're here to make a little bit of history. Let's leave our legacy because reality struck. You know, our members were starting to pass, and you know, we're getting to the age now where it's we live for today. And Mickey and I both
We
went
almost
through.
didn't make it.
We
Me
almost
and
didn't make
Gerry.
it. Yeah, we both went
I had
through
a
health
s- yeah.
issues this
I had a
last year.
stroke in October 2012.
my
I had a
Yeah.
stroke.
Yeah, and
It was an aneurysm. So
Well,
Thank
you're
God-
lucky you
thank
don't
God
have
it's
I was
any.
real lucky, you know. I had my stroke in October 23rd, and when I woke up, it was Christmas.
Yeah.
So, what happened to the turkey?
yeah.
I missed the turkey.
So now
And
we're
then
living
soon
for each
after,
moment.
There's
Now,
something
uh,
about something
Jerry's
like that.
I had a kidney,
one kidney removed.
removed 72 hours before.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good
Yeah.
part about that is we now look at life a little bit differently. And
Yeah.
the gift we have to life is our music, and what we do together is amazing. And the great part, and this is the funny part, Mickey wrote a song in 1973. It's called Sunday Kind of Mood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I rewrote the song in 2014 as a rap song, right? So we got a young rap group that's singing on our CD, and it's a tribute to El Chicano, and El Chicano's playing on their own tribute. But we have Carlos Santana's son, Salvador,
Right.
and we have Emilio Estevez's daughter, Paloma, on that
awesome.
record with it. So we collaborated 40 years apart, bro.
Yeah.
So
Well, you got to get the younger generation,
yeah,
motivated, and
and
inspired.
that's a good thing.
And what an honor for them, you know.
yeah.
I mean,
We got to pass the torch. Hey,
You know,
keep it going.
The
Keep it
respect
going,
that
kids.
El Chicano has is immense. It really is.
Yeah.
When you hear guys like Salvador, he was like, "Oh, thank you so much for letting me join in." Well, it's great. I mean, the guy's
Good kid.
a tremendous musician, and he's got a legacy in music through Santana. So again, 40 years later, we're still doing what we do. We're still doing what we love more than anything else. And there's a harmony with El Chicano. It's a family. We all love each other, and we do for each other.
and that has to do with, I mean, I'll be honest with you, that has to do with the Hispanic heritage,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Latino
Yeah,
heritage.
the
I
familia.
Mean, oh, it really is.
Yeah.
You don't, I mean,
And I'm the most
being
Hispanic of them all from Scotland.
right. He's from Scotland. He's so Hispanic.
Eat
Well,
beans now. He's a lot of beans now.
You know, it's
Yeah.
embedded in you, though. It's a way of life. Really, it is. You don't see a lot of that
Yeah.
with Caucasian families as much as you do with, you know.
Well, there's got to be a link between Scotland and the Latin community because Alex Ligertwood was the lead singer for Santana for
Right.
16 years. Here I am with El Chicano. We call ourselves the Scottish Chicanos,
I know. I think that's great. I think that's great.
So, it's all about having fun, doing what we do best, loving what we do. We're brothers. We love what we're doing. And we collaborate with each other. Like next week, we're going to be sitting down writing new songs. And he's got, ever since his stroke, he's come up with some great ideas with songs. And I'm a lyricist, so I put lyrics to it. So he's coming to here, I
That's
got this
right.
line, and we put the lines to it. So a lot of good things coming from El Chicano.
Yeah.
A lot of good things coming from music. And,
Yeah. And you
we're-
had a life-changing experience. So
We
there's
did.
no holding
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
No holding
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
now. So.
because I had a day job. I was working, because I had, back in the days, back when disco came in, thanks to John
Ruined
Travolta, that knocked a lot of bands out of gigs because
Oh, yeah.
club owners were hiring one DJ. So it was like, my wife, when she was alive, I lost her too. She's, hey honey, music's not paying the bills, man. So she goes, go down to the unemployment office. You have to drive a bus now. You drive that motorhome, because we had a motorhome for the road. And, you know, I'll drive the motorhome all over from here to Chicago, you know. So you drive that motorhome, you can drive a bus. And I go, I don't want to drive a bus. So there I was.
And you know,
Melrose, Santa Monica.
speaking of that, a lot of
Yeah.
these young musicians, they look enamored and they look up to to people that have made it,
you
or
gotta
that
survive,
are,
you know?
there's people that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that don't have a dollar.
That's right. That's right.
They don't have a dollar, but they have their name.
The name.
Yeah.
And half the time, more than half the time, that does not pay the bills.
No.
So,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and that's something I've learned along the way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
you know, I'm really proud of you.
If there's anything
for
out there
working.
that the kids can learn, is that learn your trade, do it well, and keep doing it, and keep progressing, keep learning. Because today they race to the top so fast, and they don't know how to stay there. That's the biggest problem.
Or handle it.
Or handle it. And
Yeah.
coming up through the ranks, you learn the steps. So if you fall back, you can learn how to reclimb. I mean, the great thing about El Chicano is they're still performing today, 40 years after they had their big hits, and they're selling out the crowds. I mean, we played last weekend. We played at the Honda in Anaheim.
Honda Center.
in Anaheim,
Yeah.
and we filled the place out.
The only thing a gambler needs is a suitcase, Lord, and a trunk. The only time he's really satisfied is when he's on the drum. Fame is more longevity than it is
Exactly.
the moment,
Yeah.
and that's what I think young
Yeah.
musicians.
And I think you get to a
should
point where
realize.
fame is within yourself anyway. You're happy playing, like you said earlier, playing to one person or a whole
Right.
arena. You're there for the music, and
Right.
music is fame, and
Yeah.
we play. Our end result is what we do every day is for music.
I
Right.
mentioned to Gerry that, you know, our new CDs is called El Chicano Signature. I said, hey, G, I said, don't you think the name should be Survivors?
Yeah.
'Cause that's what it
Yeah,
was.
we got through it.
We got through it. You know? Survivors.
That's funny.
Well, you know, the funny thing about all of us, and we all have our stories through time. I mean, I was 40 years in this business. I've been with Led Zeppelin, AC/DC, you know, all these big bands, and everybody wants me to give them stories, right? And I'll share it with them. But the biggest story I have is, and they say, well, you know, what's the biggest thing you got out of it? I said, I survived. You know, I mean, we going through
You're
the
here to
70s.
tell the story.
It was a crazy time. It was a crazy time with rock and roll, and you know, it's still crazy, but we love it.
Yeah,
and we
those are
enjoy
some
every
crazy
day.
stories you told us.
Oh yeah, that's, some of that, you know, and they're all true. That's the
road,
problem.
road manager for Frank Sinatra?
Yeah. Worked for Frank, and you know, but those are that all led to what I'm doing now. It's
Right.
Always a
The
precursor for what I'm
experience
doing
that it
now.
gave you.
And
Yeah.
again, like I said to everybody that I ever talked to, like what I've done in music is I'm fulfilling it now, because the music I'm working on right now is the music I love. And the El Chicano sound, the brown sound, that signature sound of El Chicano, which we're very proud of.
Signature survival song.
Signature survival. He's
Do you have a song
He's gonna
named
get a
Survivor?
survivor.
You need to do that.
Wait a minute.
We're gonna,
Yeah, come, honey.
You know, my understanding is that you're gonna exclusively give us a song today that's
Yeah.
from
Sure,
that.
you
I'm
know,
so excited.
jam a little bit.
Well,
hear
this,
some
what
music?
you're going to have on this show today is a song. It's the first song. It's El Chicano's released a brand new song in 35 years. It's a song that I wrote.
Wow.
It's a song that we put together based around the signature sound of El Chicano. So it's all unique. It's all traditionally unique. It's old school and new school, if you want to put it that way. But
Well,
yeah.
the old school is the new school
It is.
today.
It
that's
is,
for sure.
and we're proud of that. And you guys are going to have it on the show tonight, and it's called Outbound. And it's all about a person that is looking for something more in their life, and that's what El Chicano did all from the start. They were all guys from San Gabriel and East LA and Echo Park.
Sangra.
Yeah. and they rose through the ranks, and that's what this song's all about. You know, like they're gonna move on no matter what, and it's called Outbound.
Yeah.
And I hope you like it, because we enjoy doing it.
I think
and,
we will like it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Picking up the pieces that keep falling down always seem to happen as I turn it around. Outbound dreams keep growing on the weekend. Trying to quit my day job and doing a lot of thinking. Feel the breeze blowing on my face, standing in the shade. 11 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, jump up on this train again. No turning back once you're taking it. Weight off my back, feel like I made it on the Outbound. Leaping on the Outbound. Yeah, pushed a lot of people trying to get them on this train. Stayed a flying solo, got some friends along the way. In the meantime, I keep singing this song. It's all about love, trying to get along. Feel the breeze blowing on my face, standing in the shade. 11 o'clock in the morning. Come on, yeah. Jump up on this train again. No turning back once you're taking it, my friend. Weight off my back, feel like I made it on the Outbound. Living on the Outbound. Now this train is leaving town. No turning back once you've taken it. Weight off my back, feel like I made it, yeah. Don't slow it down, keep on moving along. I see you, yeah. On the Outbound. Come on, come on. There's no turning back. There's no turning back.
In your history is you recorded a very, very famous song, and you had great success with it, which is Brown Eyed Girl.
Yeah.
First of all, I mean, what I want to ask is how was that, recording that song that is so famous and has touched so many people? Did you feel pressure? Was it just something that came? And how was it? And
Well, that was the time, 1969, there was a lot of Chicano revolution, and that was about the time Ruben Salazar, got shot in that Silver Dollar Bar and East LA riots.
Right.
So, I don't know, we picked up acoustic, we were on my acoustic guitar one day, and we just started playing Brown Eyed Girl, and then it evolved, and we took it to the studio, and then boom, Brown Eyed Girl, We put our little twist to it.
And I didn't think about it when I was saying it, but now I'm thinking about it. I mean, Hispanic girls are mainly brown-eyed girls,
Brown-eyed
so
girls.
you really reached
Yes.
out to the Hispanic population, didn't you?
We dedicated to them every concert. Let's go out to all you brown-eyed girls.
All the
Yeah.
brown-eyed girls love it.
And you have, Gerry, I guess, has a story about Van Morrison.
Well,
Would you
Van
like to
Morrison,
share?
who originally wrote the song, yeah, and then
Share
I was
that
talking,
with us.
yeah, he was talking. I was
Yeah.
talking to him a few years ago. I said, "What did you think of Al Chicano's version of Brown Eyed Girl?" He goes, Oh, it wasn't my version. You know, it's not the way I would have done it, but it made more money for me than mine did.
Oh, yes.
So there you go. El Chicanos contributing to the music
Ching,
world.
ching, ching.
Right.
Thank you, El Chicano.